Begin. So welcome to the webinar, the free webinar, where we will be discussing living the sugar-free life while you're busy, on the go, without slowing down, because I know we are all busy. So just a little introduction. My name is Brittany Sewell. You can find me at brittnysewell.com. I offer women simple solutions to live the healthy and fit life that they desire. And I do that through easy meal prep, through quick workouts and online training services. And so you can find all of those things on my website. I am also the creator of the 21-Day Sugar-Free Academy, which some of you that are on here have been through. You're graduates of that academy, and I love that. I love hearing all the results and the life changes that it has made for you and your family. But just a little bit about the 21-Day Sugar-Free Academy. I'm going to touch more on that at the end of the webinar, but it is a 21-day online academy that where you learn all about the effects of sugar, how to give up sugar, and how to change your lifestyle as far as eating habits and getting rid of sugar altogether. So that's just a little bit about the 21-Day Sugar-Free Academy. Like I said, I will share more about that at the end. And if you stick around until the end, I will be giving a special offer that I haven't really done a lot. I did at my very first academy. And so if you haven't done the academy, you're going to want to stick around and hear the special offer that I have for my June 27th academy. But we're going to jump right in and start discussing living a sugar-free life without slowing down. So like I said, we're all busy. Whatever that looks like for your life, you tend to feel busy. I mean, we, especially in America, we tend to really get busy easily. Our life gets full, our schedules get full, whether you have kids or you don't, you get full on your schedule. And so we have to be prepared. So one thing I am a huge proponent of is that preparation equals success. So to be successful, you have to be prepared, because in our world is expecting us to not be prepared, which means they're expecting us to fail. And so it is much easier to fail when you are not prepared and you haven't done things to prepare yourself for success. And so that can be seen in working out, that can be seen in work, everything. And so sorry, I'm just going to mute everyone so that it doesn't interrupt. And so you can see that happening no matter what area of life. If you're not prepared, a lot of times you won't be successful. So it's just a big thing that I believe in. And so really, to be successful, being sugar-free or eating the healthy lifestyle in general, long-term, even when you're busy, you have to have some time to be prepared. So I'm not here to share with you that there's some quick and easy fix on you can be sugar-free and you can eat healthy without doing a thing. That's not true. I'm really sorry to tell you that, but it's not true. So to be fully successful at eating healthy and eating sugar-free, you have to be prepared. You have to put things into practice, into your lifestyle. You have to give it a little bit of time in the kitchen and to prepare yourself to be successful. Because look around our world. There's fast food restaurants at every corner, every aisle of every store. I mean, I say this so much, but every aisle of every store has junk food. They are looking for us to get hungry and not be prepared and to grab the junk. So we have to be prepared. So let me move on in my notes. So a lot of times this will happen with meal planning will help you, menu prep, having a menu for your family, and spending a little bit of time in the kitchen cooking in general will help you as far as being prepared and being successful. So we're going to keep going. So some of the tips for that would be looking at different meals and how you can be successful with that is think about breakfast. So we're talking about breakfast. Well, before I go into that, all meals in general, you want to look for nutrition-dense food. So food that has lots of nutrients that are going to keep you full longer, where you're not going to be found mid-afternoon starving because you ate a skimpy little lunch. You want to eat full meals that have a well-rounded nutrition plate. Like you want to be having lots of protein, lots of healthy fats, some healthy, good carbs, and lots of lean vegetables at every meal. And so doing that and sticking to that healthy plate, that nutrition-dense plate, will keep you full longer, will keep you more successful at being healthy and sugar-free. And it will also help you to be full long term, like, so you're not looking for snacks and things throughout the day. So starting with breakfast, how can you be successful at eating sugar-free with breakfast when you're busy? So some of my go-to tips are that I love to have smoothies because they're easy. You can pack so much nutrition in a smoothie. I know some people, they're just not big on smoothies, but you can drink so many nutrients in your smoothies, and it is super helpful to just have those. You can even prepare those on the go, have those in the freezer, and like little Ziploc bags of all the stuff you're putting in your smoothies. If you get a good protein powder that's full of nutrients, it really fills you up. It can keep you full long term, and it's quick. I mean, you toss it in the blender, or if you're just using a protein powder, you can shake it with milk or water, however you prefer it. But it is a quick way to have a breakfast whenever you're on the go or needing to get out the door quickly. It also, another thing with breakfast is that you can do like egg scrambles if you have time to cook, or you can prepare ahead of time. So one thing I like to do a lot of times is to take some time in the kitchen to make little egg muffins. So in like a muffin tin, I put eggs and sausage and cheese and like spinach leaves. You can put onions and different things like that. So having those made ahead of time for you and your family, and then you can freeze those. So then the mornings when you're in a rush, you can get those out and eat those quickly on the go, heat them up and eat them. And having things like that keeps you away from pastries and cereals, which are not going to fuel your body. They're not going to keep you full long term. They're going to make you hungry within an hour or so. And so many times we do that. We run to the coffee shop and we grab a muffin, or we eat cereal because it's quick and easy and it's not keeping us full. It's not fueling our body. It's really just lots of carbs and usually a lot of sugary substances. Most every pastry you're going to find at a coffee shop is going to be full of sugar. I really haven't found one locally to me that has sugar-free options. And so sometimes when I do want a muffin, that's another thing I'll prep ahead of time. I'll make a lot of my gluten-free blueberry muffins, freeze those, and have those when me and my family want that for breakfast on the run. But you really want to look for food that's going to fuel your body so that you're staying full longer. You're not hitting that sugar crash at 10 a.m., which happens a lot when you're eating high carb, high sugary foods like pastries and things like that. And so those are some ideas for breakfast in general. We're going to go through each meal, and I'm going to give you some ideas as far as prepping and being successful eating healthy and sugar-free goes. So moving on to lunch. So one of the biggest tips I can give you, and this is super, super easy to do, is to, when you cook dinner at night, cook a little extra and have leftovers for lunch, because a lot of times your dinners are going to be really nutritious. You're going to have more time to spend on those. You're going to be doing like meat and vegetables. And a lot of times at lunch, you don't have time for that. If you're working or you're busy with kids, whatever you do in life, you tend to not pay as much attention to nutrient-dense food at lunch. And so if you make extra food at dinner, use the leftovers. Leftovers are your friends. They are helpful, and it's helpful to have leftovers that have tons of nutrients in it for lunch. So that's one tip for lunch. Another thing for lunch, whether you're at home or you're taking your lunch to work or something like that, you really just want to pay attention to the ideal nutrition plate, like I mentioned. And I have that actually for free as a graphic that I send out to people. It's my ideal sugar-free plate. It shows what kind of food you should be having as far as how much protein, how much lean vegetables, how much carbs, and how much healthy fats you should be having per meal. And really trying to stick to that will be very beneficial. I can send y'all the link in the chat in just a few minutes, and that will help. And y'all can have that for free, that free graphic where you can see what you should be having in each meal. But even really paying attention to that at lunch, because a lot of times when we're eating sugary substances, we hit crashes at like 10 a.m. and then usually like 2 to 3 p.m. Whenever you feel like you need extra caffeine or you need something sweet, you get those sweet tooths, things like that. And so having nutritious meals is going to be very important for you to sustain that and to push through that lull, that sugar highs and lows, and staying away from sugar at those meals. Not having like dessert after lunch and things like that will keep you from that crash, or having a lot of sugar in coffee and things like that. And then as far as eating out goes, so a lot of times at lunch is, unless you have like a dinner planned, but at lunch it seems easier to eat out because maybe you get a lunch break from work or you're out with friends and you go to lunch. And so how can you be successful at eating sugar-free while you are going out to eat? Here's what I will tell you. It calls for more preparation. So another great tool we have at our fingertips is Google. And so you can Google just about every restaurant out there, and you can look up their menu with all the nutritional value for every item on their menu, down to breads, down to dressings, everything. It will give you the ingredient list, how much sugar is in it, and everything. So learning how to read not only the nutrition label, which will give you the amount of grams of sugar that's in something, but also once you see that, you want to go to the ingredient list and see, are those sugars coming from natural places, or are they coming from added sugar and things like that? And one awesome tool, we do go over that in my Sugar Free Academy pretty intensively, teaching you how to really read nutrition labels and things like that. But I also give an awesome tool to my Sugar Free Academy that is a business size printable, where you can, it has all the hidden names of sugar, because a lot of times you look at the list of ingredients and you're like, hey, I don't see sugar on there, so this must be good. But the food industry tricks us, and they will put different names of sugar on there that you're not used to seeing. And so I give you this super helpful key that you can print off, have in your wallet, have it at the store or whenever you're looking up at restaurants, and really know, so you're not being tricked and thinking you're eating sugar-free. Because a lot of times people say, hey, I've been eating sugar-free, or I've been eating healthy or whatever, but you don't realize that you may be getting tricked if you don't know how to find those hidden sugars that are out there, because there are lots of hidden sugars. And it's really sad that it has to happen that way, but it does. And so I teach a lot about that, so that you're not taking in those hidden sugars as well and getting tricked and wondering, why am I still not losing weight, or why do I still feel this way, or things like that. So whenever you can really hone in and find even the hidden sugars, it helps. So going back to eating out, using Google, finding restaurants that are going to be good for you, and knowing what you order at those restaurants. So that's one thing. I have a top 3 list of the places in my hometown that I go out to eat most of the time. That's like whenever they're my top 3 places. My husband probably gets tired of it, because when he asks where I want to go eat, it's usually one of those top 3 places. And but it's because I know what I can order there, what I like to order there, and what will be sugar-free, because I've done my research. I've prepared myself to be successful. So when you're out with friends and they say, hey, where do you want to go eat? You can have a couple options and say, hey, what about one of these places? And then you don't have to spend time rushing on your phone to figure out what to order. You already know what you're going to order. And usually we tend to order some of the same things anyway. So maybe have 1 to 2 things that you like there and order that. But it really helps to be successful for lunch and dinner even. But a lot of times at dinner even, at restaurants, it's super easy to order a meal that's like steak or chicken or something like that. And that's pretty sugar-free. You just have to watch out for sauces and dressings and things like that, which you can ask for those on the side anyways. Okay, and so going to dinner. So my best tip for you for dinner is going to be to meal prep. So it seems like that is one of the hardest meals for people to be successful at eating sugar-free, at eating healthy. And I believe that comes from the fact that we get so busy in the evenings, whatever your lifestyle looks like. I'm just going to address like moms with kids. So you get your kids from school, you're rushing around to all their activities, their baseball practice, their taekwondo, whatever you're going to, and then you don't get home until 5:30, 6:30, and now it's time to cook dinner, and you barely have time, or you forgot to thaw the meat. That's what I forget to do all the time. Or, and then you're rushing to make dinner, you're rushing to get baths, your kids aren't getting to bed till late. It just causes you to really, it makes you want to go to fast food restaurants way more, or order pizza way too often. And so to keep you from doing that, it really does help to meal prep. And so I offer some services for that on my website where you can order on-the-go freezer meal kits, so you can make freezer meals. Because one thing that I love to do is use my crock pot. It's super helpful to have frozen meals already prepped with the meat, the veggies, the seasonings, everything in a bag. Throw them in the crock pot and you're ready to go. It makes life super easy because you can put it in the mornings, and then once you get off work, the meal is already ready and you're not spending hours in the kitchen. All you have to do is serve the food, clean it up. You get to hang out with your family, get more time with your family, and so you're not rushing around or calling in to-go orders at unhealthy places. Or even if you are choosing healthy places, you tend to spend way more money if you're going out, especially if you have a family and you're buying for multiple people. So that really helps with dinner. And so one of the things I would highly suggest you doing is looking at your life and thinking, what is the one meal that I super struggle with? So what is the meal that I tend to, maybe you skip out on breakfast because you wake up late and you're in a hurry and you never have time. Or maybe lunch because it's easier just to go grab fast food and it's junk and not good for you. Or maybe it's dinner, like the scenario I just gave you. You're just too busy, so you end up ordering pizza way too often. Figure out what meals are the hardest for you and focus in on those first. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to implement all of these things at once, but figure out what meal it is that's hard for you, and put some of these tips that I've given you into action for yourself to be successful. And I know there's one more, technically not a meal, but that I have skipped over, and that is snacks. And that is a hard thing for people as well, because there are so many store-bought snacks that are processed, they're junk, they're full of sugar. Even things that we think are healthy are full of sugar. A lot of granola bars that look healthy and we're told they're healthy, they're actually full of tons of sugar, or those hidden sugars. Or even if they say sugar-free on the package, you may be getting tricked and you may be actually eating artificial sweeteners, which are just as bad as sugar. And so those can be found with hidden names as well. Like Splenda is a very popular one, but we all know the name Splenda. But if you don't know, Splenda is also known as sucralose, which is found on a lot of sugar-free or no sugar added packaged foods. So you really have to be careful. One thing I really encourage people to do is to eat more whole, real foods. Stay away from as much packaged food as you can. There are some packaged foods that you can find that are good. They're made with real ingredients, a low amount of ingredients, and so they're fine to have on occasion. But I will encourage you to really focus in on eating as snacks whole foods as well, things that are going to fuel your body long term. Some of my go-to things would be like these will have like either good fats or lots of protein that will keep you full. They'll make your body feel full whenever you're getting even like that sugary sweet tooth in the afternoon. They will help to curb that. So some things are like nuts, a cheese stick, a boiled egg. Let me think what else. Sometimes there are a couple of bars that I do suggest eating. Sometimes I like to, if you want like some kind of chip or something, I like to have stove pot popcorn. Those are just a couple of my go-tos. I have a list, a big list that I give to my Sugar Free Academy as well, but those are just some that came off the top of my head. One thing you want to be careful with snacks is not eating too much fruit, because even though fruit is healthy and is made with natural sugars, you can get to where you're eating too much fruit and it's affecting you, because that natural sugar can still affect your liver, and if you're having too much of it, it doesn't know what to do with it, so it turns it into fat. So you really want to be careful with that as well. Not only how much fruit you're having, but what kinds of fruit. So things like watermelon and pineapple and cantaloupe, you don't want to be having every day because they are very high in fructose. So you want to stick more with things like berries or apples and like peaches. Things like that are lower in sugar, so those are good to have. But you really want to keep your fruit intake to 2 servings a day, and that is the suggested amount to keep that sugar intake low from that natural fruit, the natural sugar in the fruit. And so with snacks, you just want to be prepared with that as well, because like I said, that is one place where we can really get attacked. You know, you may be doing really well at meals, but then you're having way too many calories or way too much sugar during your snacks, and it really doesn't help you, because sugar is addictive. And even if you think you're having low sugar, if you're eating all that sugar even at a snack, then you will tend to keep craving it. It will control your cravings and just send you into a spiral of wanting more and more sugar. And so one thing I would say to do is just to spend time in your kitchen, maybe every other week or once a month, and prepare some of these things. Prepare maybe the dinners that you're going to have, or prepare snacks. One thing I have to do for my family is to prepare snacks. Otherwise, we just don't have food, or it seems like we have nothing to eat whenever we do get hungry, because I don't buy a lot of those packaged snacks and things like that. But when I spend time in the kitchen and I prepare like some protein bites or homemade granola, or I'm trying to think of what else, things like that, or I put into Ziploc bags already cut up veggies and I make a homemade veggie dip and things like that, it really helps us to be successful. My husband is happier. He has snacks on hand, and we're not going and grabbing junk food or processed things. Even though we stay sugar-free, it's still easy to grab something that's processed. And so having those things available will help you be successful, even when you are wanting a snack. And so one thing I suggest is to make what's called an on-the-go snack kit. So think about the places that you are when you usually get super hungry or super snacky. So maybe it's at your desk in the afternoon, maybe it's while you're out running errands, or so you need something in your car, or you just need something on hand in your purse because you find yourself at random places needing snacks. And so what I encourage people to do is to create what's called an on-the-go snack kit. Find snacks that, one, they don't have to be refrigerated, but you can put into like a Ziploc bag in your car, and you're at work, or in your purse, and you can have those on hand so that whenever you get snacky, you have those healthy snacks, so you're not running into a convenience store buying chips or anything else that's unhealthy for you. So things that you can throw in there are like nuts, or you can buy the little prepackaged almond butter and have that with you with an apple or something like that. And so those are some easy things. Think about things that you like and that will fuel your body like that, like nuts do, or almond butter, things like that. And so that's one tip that has really helped me in making snacks helpful, is having them on hand, having them prepped. And it really does make a difference when you are prepared and makes you more successful. And one last thing before we begin discussing the Sugar Free Academy and then get into some question and answers is that one tip that I want to give that, and just kind of give you some relief for, is a couple years ago I heard a podcast and it was talking about the, I don't know what number, 7 habits of healthy people, of fit people. And the lady interviewed some health and fitness people that had been in the health and fitness industry for years. And she asked them, what are some of your habits whenever it comes to eating? And one thing she realized after interviewing all these people is that healthy people tend to eat some of the same things. They don't have a big variety. Sometimes we're told that we need this big variety of food, or we need to change it up all the time, or, you feel like for dinner you have to cook all different things all the time. But it's okay to be eating some of the same things, to have your go-to things for lunch, your go-to things for breakfast, your go-to snacks, different things like that. Because when you know they work, when you know they're healthy, when you like them and enjoy them, why not eat those things? And so it just kind of took a load off of me whenever I heard that years ago. And I realized it's okay that I want to have a smoothie every day for breakfast. It is packed with nutrients. It's easy. I love the way it tastes. My son loves it. Why not have it? And so just take that and realize you don't have to be having all this extravagant food or all these different kinds of foods. You can enjoy the same things, and then it's okay. And so that is just one last tip I wanted to give, just to kind of relieve you from the stress of feeling like you have to make a menu that is different every single week. You don't. Of course you want to make your family happy and let them enjoy the food, but if it's just you make what you want, or for snacks and things, make what works for you and your family. And so just to jump in really quick, because I want to finish up by 1 o'clock, and we're about to get into questions. So if you have any, you can begin to type those in the chat feature of Zoom. If you want to pull up the chat and type in any questions, I will answer those in a moment. But just talking about my Sugar Free Academy. So the Sugar Free Academy is 3 weeks long. My next one begins on June 27th, which is Monday. And with the Academy, you will get daily training videos. During the week, we'll give out daily training videos where you will learn, like I said, you will learn about how sugar affects your body. You'll learn about hidden sugars. You'll learn about artificial sweeteners, about fruits, all these different things. You will learn tons of stuff, and you'll be educated on how to make this life sustainable. I will give you tons of helpful tools, things that you can print off. Like I mentioned, that little business card size tool that has all the hidden names of sugars. There's tons of printables that will help you make this life successful. And you will, we'll go through educating you. We'll go through taking the sugar out of your kitchen, out of your diet, and then learning how to sustain the sugar-free lifestyle over the 3-week course. And then you will also get 12 exclusive recipes, which in the past it has been 9. I just added 3 new recipes to this academy, which I'm super excited about. And so you will get exclusive recipes that are only given to my academy members. And those are aimed to help you realize that sugar-free living can be a long-term sustainable lifestyle. Because a lot of times people think they get really scared to give up sugar because they're never going to be able to have a sweet treat again. But some of the recipes I give are super awesome sweet treats that you just want to have on occasion in moderation, but they help when you've been at parties all weekend celebrating and they have tons of sugary sweets that you've said no to. You can go home and enjoy something that you've made that's sugar-free, or when you know you're going to have a celebration, you take something that you've made that's sugar-free so you don't feel deprived. That's one thing I try to stay away from in the Sugar Free Academy, is the deprivation mode that you get into with diets and things like that. And so you'll get those recipes. You'll also get access to a private Facebook group where the other Academy members will be, and you will be able to share with them how you're doing, encourage one another, have accountability, share different recipes and tons of stuff. Plus you'll get full access to me to answer all the questions that you have over the course of the 3 weeks. And so you get all those things, and it's awesome. And the deal I'm offering only this time for the June 27th Academy, it is one of the best deals I've ever offered for this. Usually the price is $99, but I'm offering what's called a Better Together Buddy discount. So I fully believe that when you do something with a partner, you're going to be more successful. Working out, when you have someone to keep you accountable, you're going to be more successful. So if you have someone that's interested in joining the Sugar Free Academy with you, y'all can join together and get 25% off each. That makes it $148.50 total and $74.25 each. So like I said, that's 25% off the original price of $99. And that's one of the best discounts I've given. Y'all can come sign up together. I've already been creating the Facebook group, and I'm going to start putting recipes in there tonight. And so if you're going to join quickly. And the website, I'm about to put it up in our chat, is BrittanySewell.com/shop. You can go there and register, grab your friend, make sure they want to participate with you, and go sign y'all both up. And there's only 2 spots available for that. So only the first 2 sets of buddies get access to that discount. And I would love to have y'all join our June 27th group. It's going to be awesome. People see incredible results when they give up sugar. Not only do they feel better overall, they get more energy. A lot of times sugar and the things that we eat will cause inflammation in our body, which can cause arthritis or chronic headaches, just different joint pains. And so they tend to see that go away when they give up sugar. And you tend to lose a lot of weight, especially in the face and the abdomen, because that's where our liver stores the extra fat that we have from sugar. And so you will see results. It's incredible what you see when you give up sugar and you find those hidden sugars and artificial sweeteners. You get rid of it all. Your body finds a place, a happy medium, a healthy place for your body. It begins to lose weight, and they'll find that place, and it's easy just to stay there. You're not seeing up and down things on the scales all the time. You're not getting those highs and lows throughout the day because you're eating tons of sugar, and you just have more energy overall. You feel better. Your attitude's better. And so it really is a lifestyle that can be sustained even when you're busy. So I hope this webinar has been helpful for you guys. I would love to hear some feedback. If you have any questions, you can throw those in the chat right now. And like I said, I would love to hear feedback. If you if there's something you really loved about the webinar or a tip that I gave that was really helpful, let me know. But I would love for y'all to have to join the June 27th group. Remember that Better Together Buddy discount is only available for the first 2 sets of partners. And you need to get signed up ASAP because we're starting on Monday, June 27th. And I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me.